there YouTube, Paul is here once again. So today I'm going to be going over an interesting way to get a guitar sound, digital and analog style, which is kind of weird, right? So this video idea was kind of conjured up by my good friend Nick over at Noise Implant. He's a really awesome kind of mixing kind of engineer guy, and he's putting out some really interesting kind of synth style music and stuff. You gotta check him out. Anyway, he was like, well, what if you used like an analog distortion pedal like the REVV with the Fortin Nameless suite? What's gonna happen? So I was like, well, why don't we up the ante? And I'm borrowing his Fortin grind pedal right now. So I'm basically using a Fortin grind into a REVV G3 into a Zool, because it's a really noisy thing, and a Zool is a noise gate again by Fortin. And I'm running that basically into an Axe Effects, which is just preamp, okay? So it's just a clean sound channel into the Fortin Nameless suite, where I'm just using the IR end of it. So get this, 3 guitar pedals into an Axe Effects, which is just running a simple 5153 green amp, which seems to take distortion really well, into the Fortin Nameless suite, where I'm using some pretty basic sounds. I'm just using a couple of microphones basically. I'm using both sides. And all it really is a ribbon 160 and a condenser 184. And that's it. And that's the sound. So, I know you're chomping at the bit. Paul, shut up and play some guitar, right? So let's hear how this is going to sound. Now, that's pretty wild, alright? So I could technically just mute the Axe Effects and see how the REVV would do. I would need to change some inputs and volumes and things like that. But I wanted to see how complex could I get this to sound and still make it sound pretty good, just for the experiment, which is really nice. I think it's really great to experiment with your gear like this. So this is a very kind of not easy way to set up your sound, but this is a really nice recordable kind of sound. Maybe by itself it isn't the best, but in a mix this would work really well. I have a feeling. Pretty crazy sound, right? So if I cut out the grind pedal here, you get a lot more of your bass back, but there's a lot more of like the low mids coming back too. Now I've set everything up to use the grind in tandem with everything. That's the issue when you start to really put a lot of things together and dirty up your signal chain like that. So give me a moment. I'm going to now just do the REVV into the noise gate called the Zool from Fortin, into the Axe Effects, into the Fortin Nameless suite. So the way I have it set up now is pretty much ideal. I would use this all the time. The grind is something that definitely feels like it would work better with an actual tube amplifier as opposed to a pedal into a digital tube amplifier. Oh god, you get the picture. Like, it works really well. It's a great mix-ready guitar sound. have the Zool on, right? Because there's this kind of a sound. That kind of horrible, horrible split pickup hum. It's really great to have a gate that just silences that. And that's why I'm running it, because you still kind of pick up some frequencies. You bump the guitar, it's gonna have that kind of a thing. The gate is pretty much almost at 3 o'clock, but it's got a lot of power going through it. Whoa, and there's some interference going on, right? So my thing about this video is getting a mix ready tone basically out of a kind of a complicated process and testing things out. This is a fun thing to do. This isn't exactly practical, but there's always a fun thing to not be practical about guitar stuff. So there's a lot of great kind of pinch harmonics going on. It feels really alive, and I really credit the IRs that are in the Nameless suite with a lot of this. Obviously the distortion tone would not be at all possible without the REVV G3. It is an amazing sounding pedal. But to have a good IR in the back end just to bring it all together like that is fantastic. And it's so easy to use. I mean, I said I wouldn't do another Fortin Nameless suite video, and I'm not. This is effectively a third Fortin Nameless suite video because I'm not using the grind or the amp setting in it at all. So I think that's a pretty good example of all the great metal rhythm tones that you can get. Let's play it with some reverb and see about some lead sounds. Expressive sound at the end of the day. I mean, I credit a great sounding guitar. This definitely helps a lot. But it's a great sound in general, and I think that that's the best thing you can take away from this video is no matter the gear, if you make it work for your situation, it's going to sound good under your fingers, and that's it. Finger tone is a really, really big deal at the end of the day, and you definitely should be trying to play appropriately. Hard enough, you know, enough dynamics, trying to pick the right interval for the right moment in that piece of music or whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you just want to jam along with another band. Having a good tone is really, really important to all of us guitar players, and at the end of the day, it might be convoluted as hell, but this sounds pretty good, right? That kind of over-the-top lead sound. I mean, it's really cool. It's really fun to play around with the gear that you've got. So I advise experimentation, and if you've got a G3 in the Fortin Nameless suite, it works, buddy. Just bypass that grind and the amp itself. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot going on. I mean, I tried to use the G3 with the amp, and I really didn't find a tone that I liked just because it was just way too much hair going on. You know what I mean? I would need a gate after the Fortin Nameless suite and before the cabinet, something like that. I needed another gate in there somewhere, and I just couldn't make it work for me personally. Go ahead and experiment. That's kind of what this is about. It's kind of one of those things right now, brother. So I'm going to move over to a different guitar now for a different kind of sound. Bam! I bet you didn't expect that, did ya? This is my brand new Fender Strat made in Mexico with the 1950s neck. It's got some really noisy ass pickups. It's only got 21 frets, which is obnoxious as hell, but I love the guitar and it resonates really, really well. Really loud. For a wooden electric guitar. See what I did there? Because the last guitar isn't made out of wood. So, with this sound, we've got that Brat Strat kind of deal going on, right? really, oh, that's a nice reverb tail right there. Oh, there goes the fridge again. God, I need to get a new fridge. So yeah, I think it works really, really well. The Zool is still really high up, meaning the noise gate is still really active right now, but it works really, really well. That's it. I'm not turning the grind on. It's just going to sound like 2k hertz chunder basically at the end of the day. It's going to be way too much mid because these pickups are definitely more mid focused anyway. It's a Strat. I mean, it's single coils. Kind of a context, this works out really great, and with the noise gate up so high with this single coil Stratocaster, sudden English accent, it still works, it still sounds good. Like I cut off the guitar, the noise gate didn't cut off the guitar. Let's see how long this 9th fret G string lasts on the neck pickup. Long enough for me, you know what I mean? This kind of... And it's not like I've dimed the gain, it's not like the gain is max on anything actually, it's max on. Oh, that's such a good pun. Wow, people are gonna down like this for that one pun. But it sounds really great. I went from an 8-string guitar with humbucking pickups to a single coiled out, made in Mexico Strat, completely different composition of a guitar as well, because this is all wood and that's all composite, and it seems to work. So explore, if you've got the G3 pedal or the Fortin Nameless suite, even just that, just explore through it and see what you can come up with, because I personally really love this sound. So I'm going to play myself out here. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that MF like button. Yeah, the like button for sure, but the bell is actually really important as well. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments below. What do you want me to do next? Because I have a bunch of pedals I need to talk about. I didn't even show that I got a new noise gate in the mail, you know what I mean? I need to do that video still. So let me know, guys. I'm going to play myself out here. Hope that you've enjoyed this video and gotten something out of it. Hope that you go and explore some tones now, hey? It's a good idea to do that. I've been Paul Oz. Cheers, guys.